called the police on my daughter after finding cocaine in her room. I am a former addict myself. I called the police on my own daughter last night. As a recovering addict, it was the hardest call I've ever made, but also the most necessary. It started when I noticed subtle changes in my 17-year-old daughter's behavior, new friends, secret phone calls, money disappearing from my wallet. Having been down that road myself, the signs were painfully familiar while she was out with her new boyfriend, a 21-year-old I'd only met twice. I made the decision to search her room, call me a bad father for invading her privacy, but 15 years clean gave me instincts I couldn't ignore. I hoped I might find marijuana at worst, pairing something we could discuss rationally. What I found instead was a small Ziploc bag with white powder tucked inside her jewelry box. My hands shook as I held it. The familiar weight and appearance transported me back to my darkest days. My wife was in disbelief when I showed her. Maybe it's just baking powder or something for a school project, she suggested, desperately wanting it to be anything else. We both knew better. 3 hours later, my daughter stormed in with her boyfriend, laughing until she saw our faces. When I confronted her about what I'd found, her expression transformed from shock to pure rage. "You went through my things. You had no leverage," she screamed, her voice unrecognizable. I asked her boyfriend to leave, explaining this was a family matter. That's when she completely lost control. She called me disgusting names, slapped me hard across the face, then grabbed her boyfriend's hand and pulled him toward her bedroom. As they brushed past, I caught the unmistakable chemical smell I remembered from my using days. They were already high. My wife was sobbing. I was standing in our living room with a burning cheek, watching my child disappear down a path I knew too well. One that had nearly killed me at her age. It took every ounce of self-control not to physically drag that boy out of my house. Instead, I made the hardest decision of my life. I called the police. Officers arrived within minutes. They found more cocaine in her boyfriend's car along with pills and a scale. Word out he had 2 prior arrests for distribution. My daughter was taken in for possession but released to us after processing. She hasn't spoken to me since they brought her home. She believes I betrayed her. Maybe I did in her eyes. But 15 years ago, when I was at rock bottom dying in a motel room, someone called 911 instead of looking the other way. That call saved my life. This morning I scheduled her first appointment with an addiction counselor. I also called my sponsor for the first time in years. Sometimes love means making the call your child will hate you for. Sometimes being a parent means choosing their life over their love. If she stays alive long enough to hate me, I can live with that.